Welcome to Turning Moments into Movements, where each week we explore simple but powerful wellbeing tips to help you live a balanced and fulfilling life. My name's Leanne Ross, your host and the founder and coach of my business, Happylieuya, and I will be taking you through today's 15 minutes of insight and inspiration. Let's get started. Hello and welcome to this week's episode. I am so excited about this week's episode because the day it is released is officially Happylieuya's birthday. And I like to say birthday rather than anniversary. It just feels a bit more quirky. So it's Happylieuya's third birthday when this has been released today. So I wanted to do something a little bit differently, but still aligned with well-being and turning moments into movement. So I did a bit of a brainstorm, and what I decided to do was to give you 11 steps or 11 things to think about that can support your well-being, and it basically has the acronym of Happylieuya. So something quite fun, something quite quirky, but I have 15 minutes to go over 11 steps, so I'm just going to jump straight in. So Happylieuya is spelled Happylieuya. The reason why I chose that name was, and it's quite a funny story, but I'll quickly share it. So I was on a beach in Australia, and I just had made that decision that I really wanted to be a coach. I really wanted to open my own business, but I couldn't think of a business title. I couldn't think of a name that, I was thinking of just saying Leanne Ross, my name, Leanne Ross Coaching. There was loads of things I was trying to come up with. So I meditated on it, and I just was like, I just want a name that feels aligned with me, that's really quirky, that's very different. And Happylieuya came to me, and it felt so right for me. It's obviously on a play on the word hallelujah, which is really the path to enlightenment. But when you break it down, happy is the state that I really want to support you to get to. Lieu is taking time back for yourself, and Ya is saying yes to you. So this is really going to be focusing on well-being tips and tricks, and really making sure that you get the best out of these 11 steps that I'm going to go through just now. So focusing on H. So I wanted to talk a little bit around harmony, specifically around your work-life balance. And when we're looking at work-life balance, that can really depend on, all aspects. Is your full-time being a mother? Is it you're a full-time unpaid carer, a caregiver? Or are you in that kind of traditional work? Whatever it is, finding harmony in your work life is so important, and it's one of the main things that I do within my coaching, is really supporting that work-life balance and really ensuring that you are able to live that life that you've always wanted. You don't have to keep sacrificing time and time again your life for your work. So really looking at ways to find harmony in your life to support you, to not only enjoy your work, but thrive in it, whilst not having to sacrifice your whole life for that, because that's certainly something that I experienced. So that would be my first out of the 11 tips and tricks around well-being. So finding harmony within your work life. The next one is authenticity. I have spent years being told by a number of different people that I'm not good enough, or that that I don't deserve something, or I shouldn't be doing this, I should be doing this. I also have many more people in my life that tell me differently, that really encourage me, really support me, and really cheer me on. trying to navigate that and truly, listening to all the outside noise, but really tuning into the internal aspect and really remaining true to yourself is so important. That's a huge tip that I really want to hone in on. Within my 5-pillar approach, I do talk about mindset. So I talk about how we are conditioned by society, by our upbringings, by our experiences, and how that can really shape us into, a person that maybe loses their authenticity a bit. So we sometimes lose sight of who we are as people because of these pressures that are put on us by others. So keeping yourself authentic, really exploring what that looks like and finding yourself again is so important, and it will really light up that wellbeing journey that we're all on together. Next one is P, so being positive. Quite self-explanatory. Life can get really difficult. And we are met with so much different challenges. But what can be really amazing is to focus on the positive aspects. A really good way I do that is to practice gratitudes every day, and that can really enhance your positivity around your overall life. And we're not looking to suppress, we're not looking to, forget about any challenges that we are going through. It's so important that we continue to recognise them and work through them. But having a more positive aspect or perception within your life is really going to change just your general outlook of life. And it's definitely something that's really helped me throughout my wellbeing journey. The next one is purpose. So really identifying what your purpose actually is. And what I find is I speak to a lot of clients who have picked a career they've dedicated a lot of time to, and they feel that they can't shift from that because they put in so much work. And I totally get that, but sometimes having that that perception can really impact our ability to really live out our life purpose. So just take a moment now and really work out, do you know what your life purpose is? And if so, what is it? If not, how can you explore that? Is it a case of you start to brainstorm around your purpose in life? Do you book a call with me and we do a bit of a deep dive? Whatever it is, exploring and living out your purpose is something that will really truly help and align your well-being, because you're being you. You're doing the job that you are truly meant to, and that can be so powerful. And, when we're looking at our purpose, I've mentioned jobs, but also who we are, our values, what we stand for, what we spend our time doing. It all is intertwined. Why? So we're almost at the end of happy. Why is saying yes to you? As a recovering people pleaser, still have aspects of people pleasing within my life. But as someone who is used to saying yes to people, I should be really good at saying yes to myself. And that's something I really struggled with. It's something I'm getting a lot better at. But I would encourage you to just take a moment here and reflect on, what do you say yes to that serves you, that supports you? And really reflecting on that can be a really good conversation starter. When you're talking to other people, like, what are you saying yes to for you? So have a little think about that. Let me know. But typically when you're saying yes to yourself, you're going to be involving yourself in so much more self-compassion, self-love. So it's really, really going to help to stem that well-being journey forward. L for lifestyle choices. So we have so much, lifestyle changes that we can make in our life. And what I really love is empowering people to make those changes happen and to choose the lifestyle that you really want. And what I really focus on is the 8 dimensions of wellness. So that's the holistic wheel. And really focusing around what do you want to happen in your life. And when we're looking at the 8 dimensions of wellness, definitely space for an episode on that. But we're really looking at things like our career, our personal growth and development, our spirituality, if that feels aligned for us, our physical health, mental health, our social life, who's involved in that, the environment that we're in. So really being able to thrive in that lifestyle that you really want to shape and create for yourself. And everything is interlinked. Similarly to point 1, when we were talking about that harmony aspect, having harmony and balance within your lifestyle is so important, and it's really going to help you to move forward with your well-being and to really prioritize it as well. So that is all about intentions. And intentions can be broken up into 2 different ways. So it can be your intentions in terms of goal setting and achieving. So what goals do you want to set? That's my pillar 5 when we're looking at my framework. How do you want to set your stage to success? What does that look like? What do you really want to achieve in your life? But also intentions can be, how do you want to be? How do you want to be in the world? What's your intentions around how you show up for not only your social people, your family, your friends, your colleagues, your partner, but also how do you show up for you? So really reflecting on intentions and how you can really kind of fit into that. And what I would really encourage you to do is maybe do a bit of journaling around that specific prompts, because it can be really powerful to just see what comes out when you do start to reflect on, your own intentions. E for energy. So kind of once again, I'm going to break this into 2 parts. So the energy that you have inside of you. So really reflecting on how you can change your energy to be positive, how you can affect other people, how you can use your energy as well. So are you wanting to spend time on specific tasks and you want to make sure that you give your best? So you're reflecting on, your energy levels around time management. Is it a case of the energy that you bring into a room and bring into relationships? Are you going to be known as that positive person that really, brings a lot of joy, a lot of love into the room? Similarly, I'm identify as being spiritual. If you do, then reflect on how you use your energy in terms of the law of attraction. I have done an episode on the law of attraction, so lots more to talk about there. So if you do want to hear a little bit more, make sure you hop onto that episode after this one, because I am running out of time. You is understanding you. And I cannot harp on about this enough. The amount of people who struggle with that emotional, intellectual kind of aspect and trait can really affect so much. And when you think of people who maybe don't have that emotional intelligence, think how damaging that can be to the whole world. I'm talking about people in power. I'm talking about, people who have real impacts on your life. So being accountable, because emotional intelligence affects everyone, on different levels. So being accountable to your own self-development and really tuning in to the personal development and the work that you want to instill within you as a person is so important. So doing work like this, listening to podcast episodes like this that get you thinking, that get you self-reflecting, is really going to help you to develop a better relationship and a more fulfilling relationship with yourself. Why? We're almost done. Why is your choices? Choice is something that I really hone in on in my coaching practice. Very person-centered and very client-led. And what you find is, specifically if people have experienced adversity, traumas, quite often you have experienced not having choice in your life. And giving yourself that permission to have choice and control around your life is going to be so friggin' powerful. It's really going to change the landscape around how you move forward. And really recognizing that is going to be so important. It's such a huge well-being tip that I would really encourage you to reflect on. So what choices do you want to make in your life? How are you going to create those? How are you going to identify them? Once again, if there's anything that's come up for you that you want to dive in a little bit deeper on a one-to-one, make sure you book a call with me. All the details will be in the show notes. And finally, achieving. So, recognizing your wins. I call them champagne moments. So, really celebrating everything that happens in your life that's positive. Recognizing the progress that you've made. Becoming more driven and motivated by reflecting on, your list of champagne moments. When you think about everything that you have possibly achieved, whether it's in the workspace, whether it's been, in your personal life, whatever it is, really recognizing all the achievements that you have made will really help you to feel motivated to make those powerful and positive goals in the future. So what do you want to achieve in the future? So breaking it down, what's your champagne moments? What's gone right for you? In the past, and then what do you want to achieve in the future? And I would really encourage you to look at vision boarding. I have a vision board course in the Happylieuya shop, which is in the show notes, so make sure you have a look at that if you do want to dive a little bit sort of more in depth in terms of achievements. And that is it. Total whistle-stop tour on 11 important things to remember when we are reflecting on our well-being. Thank you so much as always for listening. Please reach out with any questions, and if you want to connect, make sure you do so. I would love to hear from you, and I can't wait to speak to you all next week. Take care. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of Turning Moments into Movements. Why not check out coaching opportunities with me so you can really begin to enhance your moments into huge movements and begin to live the life you never thought possible? Details are in the show notes. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, leave a review and share this episode. Remember to also follow me on social media platforms through my handle Happylieuya, where you will receive additional daily content. And finally, make sure you join us next week for more tips on how you can turn your small moments into life-changing movements.